One or the other day, you must have watched some people badly dressed with badly combed hair and sometimes barefoot and sitting near the roadsides, sometimes near the temples and sometimes knocking at your door. And we refer those persons as poor people. So, who all has experienced this? Tisha, ma'am, anyone?
Experienced.
I have experienced this. It was a hot summer day and sweat was dripping off the head. No one could step out of their home. And what would you expect a 14-year-old child doing at that moment? Any guesses? Obviously, sitting in the room with AC on and binge watching the TV. My favorite series, Harry Potter. I was just so relaxed. And when Dobby was going to tell Harry why he didn't let him go to Hogwarts, someone knocked the door so hard that I had to go downstairs to see who there was. While I was going down, a lovely voice reached my ears. But the words were not lovely. It said, "Please, Didi, कुछ खाने को दे दो, कुछ पैसे दे दो." And I was like, "Wait, let me come." I opened the door, and a sweet little girl was standing there with her mother and her small brother. She said, "दीदी, बहुत भूख लगी है, सुबह से कुछ नहीं खाया, प्लीज कुछ खाने को दे दो." And I was like, "Wait, let me come. I'll just go up and bring something to eat." I went out, got some biscuits, grabbed some juices for them, and gave them. As I handed it, I handed it to her, the smile on her face. It was just like she has taken that she has never seen something in her life like this. She had a big smile on her face. And after seeing that big smile on her face, I had a big smile on my face. That feeling, I can't just express that feeling. It was just, I was in heaven. It was just so good, but I didn't know what that feeling was. I came up, just sat on my bed, and started watching the series again. After some days, the same voice reached my ears. Didi, Didi, and I was just so excited. I just grabbed some food and went downstairs to give her that. And she was like, "Thank you, Didi." And she went near the park, sat there, and was eating the food with her mother. I just shouted to her, "Hey, what's your name?" And she said with a great shout, "Divya, Divya." And I was like, "Okay." And she went. But that feeling was something I could never express. And at that point of time, I realized that sharing is not just the give and take of food or money, but yes, it's the give and take of happiness. After seeing that smile on her face, I was so happy that have done something for her, and was like, wow. But yeah, that also made me realize that although they were sitting on the road in the scorching heat, they had a smile on their face. Although they were dressed badly, with badly combed hair, but they looked satisfied. And that made me realize that don't curse God for not giving what you want, but thank Him for giving us what He has given us. Thank you.
Very nice, Sia. Quite engaging. Good foundational phrase as on sharing. Your story kept us engrossed. I hope all of you agree with me. And your words were having the spaces, required spaces and pauses. Expressions were, limited to what was required. Voice and intonation were doing its magic. So all in all, we were all ears to listen to you. What happened if the girl has told you about her name, and then how these street kids really work out in a team as satisfied people. So that was very, very nice. Yeah, good attempt. Good job.
Thank
Now
you.
We will move to Tisha.
I'm gonna start.
Yes, Tisha.
Have you ever felt like you have a lot of time to do the work and you have delayed it? Yeah, have you ever felt that? And ma'am, you also. I felt that it was our winter vacation, and we had a lot of homework to do, and we had a lot of homework to do. My friends were doing the homework and trying to complete in the first 2 weeks, and I was like, "What? Why are you doing it so early? We have one month to do it. I'll do it in the last days." And I delayed and delayed. By the passing time, I was relaxing and watching TV and all. My friends have completed their work and it was 5 days on left. My friends told you should start now. But I was like, no, I'll do it in last 2 days. The 2 days were left. And I was like, I have to complete my work. And I felt a lot of pressure that I have to complete the work. And I rushed to grab the notebooks and all from the stationery shop. And after completing the work at the last day night, I realized that I should have listened to them and completed the work on time. When I gave the assignment to the teachers, they told that I told them that I have done this, and Nan said, "Why you have did it? You have done it on time." I was scolded as I have not done one assignment of one subject. After coming home, I realized that we should take proper use of time and do our work on time. Thank you.
That's it. Okay, I think you could have worked out a little better in terms of your voice and intonation because it was again the same note that you were following. You started off well with your story when your friend said that you should work your, do your work on time, and then you procrastinated a bit, and then you were running helter skelter, everywhere. So that created a scary feeling inside you. I think you could have added again a humorous or a scary expression to it. That is the missing element. The connect is basically your expressions and the way you make audience reflect that have they ever been into this procrastinating situation when they're enjoying their holidays a lot, and still they bumped into like delays and everything. So those expression needs to be come out, Tisha. I think a lot is missing because maybe you have missed a lot of sessions as well. So I think there is a lot of scope of improvement right now. Okay, you can learn better, you can improve, right? Now I think it's time offline students should present. So I would just spotlight here. So you people can stand here, okay, and speak accordingly. And here is the Zoom meetings recording starts.
Hello everyone. Has anyone of you ever been overconfident before a competition? Because I was when I was a silly youngster. What happened was our school organized a basketball match on 26th March, and it was an important one for us as it would bring our basketball team on the top list of our school. So before the night before the day of the match, I had in my dream my inspiration, Michael Jordan, and he brought with him Steve Adams. I like Steve Adams as well as he's also a basketball champion of a year. We played together. We had a lot of fun. They taught me very much. They taught me tricks how to win matches. And when the match began at 9:30 a.m., we started losing it. But why did we lose? It was not that the team was very hard to defeat. It was that we were overconfident, and our overconfidence was turning to nervousness. And as I see that you can fail better, but never be overconfident over your progress, or it can take away your success. Now, to be successful, you should learn to move on. Now, why should you move on? You should move on. I would like to tell this with the example of my life. What happened was on a day I followed my boring routine, getting up early and going to school. And that day something happened with me in the school. Our science teacher took us to the biology lab and showed us some microorganisms through microscope. And I created a mischief in the science class. And I picked up an eraser and threw it in the class. The teacher asked who did it, and my friend or my best friend told to save me, he said that I did it. Before I was able to stop him or tell the teacher that he did not do it, I did it, our teacher suspended him from the science class for a whole week. After that, I went to home and I felt guilty that because of me, he got caught in the situation. And I wasted a whole week thinking about this. Now, I've used the word wasted, but why wasted? Because thinking about the past won't change the past. It would ruin our present. And do you know that, as I say, leave the present, leave the past, live the present, and make the future. And the one who learns to move on cannot be stopped until he achieves his goal. Now, the major problem that teenagers face is time wastage. They waste a lot of time, and I am also one of them. I was one of them. On a day, I went to school, same routine, came back, and never and not picked up a single book on that day, and wasted my time doing, doing playing games, watching movies. The second day, I went to school and my English teacher gave me a heart attack. She said that there is a test of 3 chapters of English. So I was very panicked as I have not prepared even a single one. And it was a surprise test. I did it very bad. And from that day, I have not wasted even a single moment. I have kept myself engaged in a task that will help me in future. And do you know, rich people also respect time as they know time can buy money, but money can't buy time. Thank you for giving me your precious time. I hope these words make a change in your life.
Worked upon those three phrases and you get through it very nicely. Um, okay, just a second. We'll start with the second one. I just want to give you a feedback in the context that uh, initially the basketball match, the transition happened very quickly. From dream to the playground, there was something missing in between as you usually speak. So that was missing. And there were grammatical mistakes like eaved and through. Those one I noticed. Rest, the way you flawlessly moved from one foundation phrase and connected it to like the second one, wherein you said to move on, and then to the last one, the third one. So it was very nice, appreciable, good. And at certain places you have focused on some words which required your attention. So they were nicely, focused. Good. And there is always a scope of improvement. So I think you will still go higher. Good. Now, shall I call you or shall I call you last? I'm giving you a choice. Okay, you can come up.
A glorious good morning to one and all listening here. This morning is very glorious for me, and I think it for me it is so because it brings a lot of courage in me to speak something in front of you so that you could take interest into it. As we know that most of us keep silence in front of others when we should speak it up because of the feeling of ignorance, with the feeling how the other will react or judge. That makes us dumb. I have a question. Why you guys pretend to be dumb when you get a chance on a particular time to speak up about your feelings? There's a friend of mine. She's a girl. She's very talented. She's multitasking and she is a good dancer. But the thing is, she wanted to be a professional dancer, but that she never discussed with her parents. And that makes her very sad. Though that thing she always discusses with me. And she came up with me, comes in front of me brings a lot of tear in her eyes with the hope that I'll make up something to her. Though she says I'm a good decision maker. Yes, I am, but I'm not going to flaunt myself right now. Getting back direct to her, I always tell her that if you won't speak, you won't gain anything, and silence could be a self harm weapon. So there are we guys have different types of interest in different types of things. Some of you might be having in educational terms, interest in educational terms, and some of you might be having interest in any other activities. If you have ability to do that, then no one can stop you. Uh, no one can stop you to prove yourself as a brighter side of yours. With this, coming back to my friend, she is she is stepping up towards her she's stepping up so that she could try to speak to her parents about her desires, about her dreams, so that that could come true. With that, I observe that your ability will push you towards your goals. If you won't have any pain in present, there won't be any gain in future. With this, I have a question for you guys again. That do you guys have courage to speak up to show your ability to the world? Yes or no? If you are good in speaking, do you have courage to speak in public? Sometimes. If yes, then it's good. But if no, then you should have, because you are going to love this part of yourself. Coming back to my friend, she started increasing her courage to speak up in front of her parents because she wants her dream to come true. With this, it is important to know that your gain will prove your ability and talent to others who was who were not able to notice you when you were silent. Uh, so this, I get to know that it's very hard to speak, and it's very easy to hide. It's very easy to argue, but it's very hard to make other person understand about what you feel. So it's up to us that if we want good, we have to try our best. Thank you.
Feedback suggestion is like it the three foundational phrases didn't give us time to reflect because it was a speedy movement, one after the other. While I was grabbing the first foundational phrase, the second already had started. And I was trying to take hold of the second. I was immersed in your story the first started. So you should have put a pause, a silent pause is required every time, a reflection is required every time. And then we can start with the third one. In the very first question, you didn't wait for the audience to respond, rather you started on your. When you are asking a question, let them answer. Check their activity, check their brain, whether they are with you or not. As a matter of fact, I always say that, smile is something which acts as the, free barrier. I mean, free icebreaker, not barrier, a free icebreaker. Once you offer your smile to the audience, you take back the same thing. There is something called as mirror neurons in our brain. So if you smile, the audience will tend to smile on their own, and there is the connection. So, in fact, you have heard Craig Valentine also speaking. When you connect, in fact, it was Bindra. We heard it. Like, if you connect, you will connect them forever. They will be ready to listen to you. And if there is no connection, they might lose in between. So that connection part was a big myth in here. But the continuity of the communication was stupendous, because the first day and this day, the matter is good, content is good. It's just that the speed needs to be controlled, and voice factor is also there. I was noticing your gestures also. They were very sharp. You were holding the mobile like this, and your hand was going like this. So instead of that, you could have copied or rather follow the standard posture of standing like this. Your mobile could be in here, and then you can focus on certain points like this. She was not talking to her parents. It was her golden chance to talk to them, rather than showing a finger, if that is more aggressive, right? So putting down aggressive features would help you better.
And at certain places, your body language was also good when you were bending over certain things. That was nice. In between, you forgot because ers and ums were apparent in your voice, and all. So when you are, imagine every time you are on a TED talk or a TED speaker, there you would not notice any ers or ums in there. And that's how you have to become a pro to that level. I tell you, to be very point blank, a 1 month public speaking or probably the crunch part of it, 15 days would not help you as much as the regularity can help you. So you have to work at the back as well, right? You have to give yourself the opportunity to speak every time when you get the chance, right? And work upon the principles, the parts formula that I have given, right? So all the best for that. Nice attempt. Now, Gunika.
Have you ever experienced a teacher who always pauses off himself? Then you might be the one sharing an adjustment period. According to me, the most interesting time of school life is adjustment period. The most entertaining teachers I met at that time. Same happened with me. I was in fifth grade. I was a little bit of proud of myself as I was the captain of the Vanna House. For juniors, of course. A teacher as tall as an Eiffel Tower came in our class. We got to know that he's a French teacher. At a golden age, French was taught in our school, but then it vanished in thin air. The French teachers were left, but the French had gone. He came in our class. We all were happy to see him. We thought that now we will learn French, but our expectations went wrong. It was a 5 day adjustment, and in that 5 days, he just said one sheet. I went to France and I got an award. We were proud of him. We were really happy about him. But we want to know, why did he go to France? What did he do to go to France? Gradually, the quality of him became his flaw. He was known as the teacher who always pauses of himself, who always is proud of himself and always humiliates others by saying, don't hide your flaws because eventually it will come out. Once it happened with me. I was in grade 4. I was in new admission to school. I didn't know anything about the prefect council and the interviews going on. The teacher selected me to be a candidate, a participant. I went to the interview. The teacher told me to take my introduction. I gave. Then the teacher asked me one question. What do you want to be? And I was like, I don't know. In my mind, I said, I want to be a software engineer. She said, okay, that's good. But why? So I was like, ऐसा भी कुछ होता है? I said, I want to help my school. That's why I want to become a software engineer. That's quite illogical, but okay, sometimes you don't know what you have to do. There were many students from my class going to give the interviews. They went frequently, but I was called only once. I felt a little dismotivated. But at one fine day, it was our first period, our class teacher announced the results. I was chosen as the prefect of Lavanna House, and later on, it was a mistake. I was selected as the captain. I was on the cloud 9. That day, I realized that the best of us is yet to come. It was a graduation day. All were wearing their caps, being proud. But I was a little nervous that people might know that I haven't been there to the higher interviews. They all were sharing their experiences. I also cooked up something. Before moving ahead, I wanted to do an activity. Take out a piece of paper. Don't tear it, just take out. Write your flaws on it. Write down. Then frame a beautiful sentence out of it. Go ahead. Pick on sentence. Pick up. You consider yourself as perfect. Okay, Derek. So what is a flaw in it? Okay. Let me give you an example. For example, my flaw is that I impose that I am always at fault. So I created a sentence out of it. Even if I was at fault, we went right back to your games. Even if I was at fault, we went right back to your games. How many Potterheads are here? Potterheads. Harry Potter, the most renowned person in the Hogwarts. He was popular just because of his car, and he used his car as his strength. Even if he killed Voldemort, he still had his car. But this time, this car was his strength. I was in. Now let us continue to my story. I just cooked up something, but then a friend of mine told me, Gunika, you never went. Just tell them the truth. I pondered about it at my home. And then I got the courage to tell them. I went straight to them the next day, and the reactions were unexpected. They comforted me and hugged me. They said, it's okay, Gunika. And then a thought came in my mind. Maybe I was rejected at the first interview. Maybe I did so good that I didn't need higher interviews. Even if the clouds go, even if the rain stops, I stand here just the same. Now, why is it important? Because when you go to the higher interviews, for job interviews, and you hide one single thing, and that thing is revealed after, your whole impression is gone. No one will accept you. The peer pressure will make you think that no, it is our fault. But you have to remember, you're real and original, and that is perfection in itself. How could we stop it? The main thing is self-love. I also did the same. I chose myself above everybody. Let people say, let people give you pain, but take that pain and eventually you will learn to swim in it. Drown yourself in the pain, eventually. Now, every time we think bad about ourselves, we feel as useless. There are times when teenagers feel useless. But why? Why we feel useless? Any questions? Any answers? Why do we feel useless? No one? Okay, maybe not you, but I have seen some kids in my school. I was in my bus and there was a small kid. She was very cute. She was sobbing. I was like, what happened? Why crying? She said, Didi, my teacher said that I have bad handwriting. Now what should I do? And I said, so okay. Everyone has some flaws. कि तेरी bad handwriting है तो उसको सुधार. And she started crying. No, Didi, if I have bad handwriting, I can do anything. I won't be successful. I said, even doctors have bad handwriting. I won't be successful. She started laughing. I was feeling good at times. But I don't know why do they consider it as useless by having just one flaw. Even a stopwatch tells correct time 2 times a day. Now, in the end, do you have any questions? No one? I hope the best for you, and it was my honor to stand here. I wish that you all could find your true self. Thank you, everybody.
Very nice, Monica. It was very, very inspiring. The beautiful part of your speech was it keeps us gripped for the minutes that you have spoken, and it was timed basically. Your words were coming up very beautifully spaced out, pauses were there, and we were all into what you were speaking. So no distractions were there. And though you have repeated it, like I mean, we have been doing the practices for a lot of time, but the same thing was coming as again a refresher for us. So that was very nice. Good. You have that magic of rolling out words very nice. Good. Now Shifty.
Has this ever happened with you that you are forced to do any work? Maybe not often, not all of us. Even I'm never forced to do any work, but still I'm asking this question because one of my classmates had been forced to do the work. Once there was PM in our school, and I was just standing behind her, and I saw her that her mother is saying that you have to score good marks in all subjects, and if you have to go to the stream, the medical stream, in which she has no interest. So when I realized this, when I saw her face expression that she wants good marks, but she does not interested in the science field, and she was not even telling her views about her to her parents. So I thought maybe my thoughts are wrong. So the next day, I saw her, and she seemed to be very disturbed. So my question arises: was she, is she really interested or not? So I just go say her, and are you really interested in this field? She said, why are you asking me this question? I heard that your mother was saying that you love, that you have to do the medical stream. Yeah, no, I really was not interested in this. So I just explained her that if you are not able to convey your views to your parents, so how you will be able to convey your views to others? You have to convey your views to others because if you will not, everyone will help, everyone will push you back, and you will not able to reach your success. The quote is, you are the artist of your own life. Just don't hand the paintbrush to anyone else. Because if you let someone control your life, it's their life, not yours.
Now, Tejas. Just a second. Tejas.
Have you ever experienced overconfidence in your life?
Any
That's the answer of almost every student. I have also faced this in my life, and you also have experience in it in your favorite subject. In when I was in third grade, my favorite subject was GK. if that in that time we were taught GK in our school. We had a GK quiz in our school, and I was the best student in all the sections. So it was my duty to enroll for it. When I was going to enroll for it, I felt like I am the Alexander the Great, and my teachers also knew that I am gonna win. But unfortunately, on the last day, I ended up getting lost. As they say, जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. I got a lesson that you shouldn't think you are special to become one. One thing is overconfidence, another is fear. The contrast of it. Fear. All of us have experienced fear once in our lifetime, or maybe more than that. Not that horror movie thing, but fear of looking bad, fear of the unknown, and fear of messing up. This fear stops us from getting out of our comfort zone. I have also experienced fear of asking questions or giving answers, as you know. But when I was in sixth standard, I got an opportunity to enter in ATL marathon. I rejected the proposal because I thought that the students would think that I don't know robotics, or they would make an opinion about me, or they will laugh at me. But today I sometimes get angry on that decision, that why I left that thing, and I want to say that you have to defeat our inner fear to achieve the impossible. So start taking baby steps, and don't fear making mistakes to overcome your fear. Thank you.
Good. Nice, Tejas. I mean, it's for sure that scope of improvement is there, but you stood there and you conveyed something that is the best part of it. It could have gone in a very organized way as taught to you, but it wasn't. I'm not demotivating you. I am happy that you came here. Next time, those jitters would not be here. I'm sure of it. At least the cold hands and the nervousness would go by that time, and your speech would be longer than what we have experienced today. So consciously drop it. It's fine. You know, these are your friends only, right? Adin, now get back. Maza aa gaya? Is that the thing?
The quote on yourself. So, have you taken a wrong decision in your peer pressure, or have you got a stolen advice that makes the thing even worse? When I was in eighth grade, I got a life changing decision that really changed my life from happy to sorry. A week before my final exams, I was going to buy some school stuff, and suddenly a head popped out of nowhere and asked, "How are you?" I soon realized that he was my uncle who was going to take my precious 30 minutes of the life. I felt really nervous at the time. I answered him, "I am fine." And then he continued, "There is only a week left in your exams, and look, you are roaming on the streets." I didn't sense any use of answering the question, so I just ignored it. But then he again continued, starting giving some rubbish speech to me, feeling like he was a Donald Trump whose words are going to change the world. Well, he taught me a learning pattern that I should follow through my exams to get a good grade. He was so confident in his words, so I thought, let's give it a try. Why not I give it a try? So in science exam, I wasted my two preparatory leaves in this stolen suggestion and got nothing in my mind. Soon I realized that it was nothing, just a piece of trash. So I then learned the lessons on my own pattern, and passed with a good grade. But the problem came in the next exam, the nightmare of the teenagers. Can you guess the subject? Maths. Maths was the subject. In earlier times, maths was my favorite subject. I was like Einstein in maths. I was so confident that every single formula I had just printed over here, but I was wrong. Uh, After 2 days, when I went to give my exam, I wasn't really prepared much, but yeah, I have just done a recap of the syllabus. My friend came to me and just asked me, "Have you done the chapter 9? It was really difficult." I asked him, "Is it really coming in the syllabus?" I just didn't even check the syllabus thoroughly. And he said, "Are you mad or what? We are having exam in half an hour and you're just asking what is the syllabus?" I felt really, really bad that day that I didn't even check the syllabus. I was full of overconfidence in me. That was not a good thing. So after the results came, it was obviously a really, really bad results. I learned a thing that you need to keep a lot of confidence in you, but not overconfidence. Well, the session passed and I was promoted to class 9. It was going all smooth until a teacher came in and gave a circular to the teacher, to a class. It was about a competition which was inter-class on which need to decorate our board and on which we need to decorate our whiteboard and on the basis of the decoration, the headmistress or the judges will decide who wins the competition. So all of our class started decorating the booth. We were giving our best, but there was that one child in the class who was like, "I will do everything, just give me anything." So our plan was to divide all the tasks among ourselves. But he was just enrolling himself in and saying, "You can give me more tasks. I will just do it diligently. I'm too good at it." So we thought, okay, we gave him 4 to 5 tasks to do. And at the day of presentation, he missed it. He really just missed everything. We were so sad and we were just frustrated at the time that we told you that we are distributing the task among ourselves. Why did you did like that? It was like, "Sorry, I didn't knew what happened." At the point I was pondering at, do you really need to do everything on your own where you have your friends to assist you? No, you do not have to do everything on your own. Thank you.
The best part, you stretched it very nicely. Uh, Voice was nice. You made the modulation part nicely. Expressions, voice, combination of interaction was also there. It's just that the focus on words was the improvement part that you required. And I was really amazed the way you talked about that uncle whose head popped up. This time the entire scenario came out live in my head. So you were able to transport. That's the best part. So we will wait for the result until tomorrow, and we'll be meeting on 1st of July. And I'm planning that for these activities, combined activities, 2 people will also be rewarded. Okay. So 1st July, we'll see you, and then we will start with our presentation parts. Right. Thank you so much. Bye bye.